Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been angry at your electric company? I mean, really, have you ever felt like a victim, helpless in the face of ever increasing power bills and unable to exert even the slightest pressure or leverage against them? I mean, really, what choice do we have? You need to have electric service. Everything we use requires electricity. Our laptops, our phones, cars, lights, television, our refrigerator, literally everything. It's just a ridiculous scam that's being forced on you, me, and everyone else in America. You have to be hooked up to the power grid and have service or you can't live in your own home. Whatever happened to the idea of freedom? Is it me or did people live for thousands of years without electric power? Not that I'm suggesting that people should live without electricity. However, the current system is clearly just a way to drain money from each and every American. And if that isn't bad enough, does the electric company ever have to reimburse you for your time or trouble or losses when they are unable to deliver power to your home? Have you ever gotten a credit on your bill for the 5 hours the power is out during a thunderstorm or the days it was out after the tornado or hurricane or superstorm hit your area? Bad chance. It has never happened. And still, we just have to eat it. Month after month, price hike after price hike, power outage after power outage. You just have to grin and bear it. And you can't even go to another power company because each and every company has a monopoly in the areas they service. It makes you wonder who they paid off to get that sweet deal they have. But now you can get out from under their thumb. And you can even force them to pay you. Finally, after years of being abused and forced to buy from the local power company, you can now turn the tables on them and use a small loophole in the law to extract money from them. I discovered this loophole and how to take advantage of it after I got so mad at my local power provider that I literally threw a temper tantrum in my front yard. And yeah, I was embarrassed when I did it, and I realized that my neighbors had likely seen me, but more importantly, I was motivated to find a way to fight back. And I'll tell you all about it in just a moment. But first, let me introduce myself and why you should listen to each and every word I say. My name is Richard, and until I had my temper tantrum, I was just an ordinary guy. I was and am married to the most amazing woman, Emily. We have 2 children and a dog, and I worked at an accounting firm from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and my wife worked in banking. By all accounts, I was the average, everyday, middle-class, white-collar schmo. I made a nice living, had a solid retirement account, and spent my weekends relaxing around the house and camping with my family. You know, there are some things that really aggravated me. Now, I'm not an overly political guy, but the ever-increasing encroachment of the federal government into our lives made me mad. And I also don't trust technology too much either. Sure, I use it, but the fact that my computer seems to keep track of everything I do online really concerns me. But you know, these kinds of things were just a part of American life. And then in 2007, 2008, the unthinkable happened. The U.S. real estate market collapsed and took the worldwide economy with it. Businesses started collapsing at a record rate, and that included many of my employer's clients. And we had several accountants working at my firm, and when the clients started dropping off, we all started to get concerned. First, they reassigned the client list to keep everyone working. Finally, it was obvious we were just losing too many clients, so they started a rolling unpaid week off policy. Every employee would take an unpaid week off every 8th week. Now, you know, we all accepted it because we didn't want to see layoffs start, but it hurt. Still, clients continued to drop off, so they gave everyone an unpaid day off every other week, along with the rolling week off. Then an unpaid day off every week. I think they were hoping some people would resign, but everyone was too scared. We were, after all, accountants, not known for our impulsive decisions. So finally, they started laying people off. Now, I'd been on the job long enough and brought in enough clients that I didn't get sent home, as they say, but I was only getting paid for 4 days a week and had to take an entire week off every 8th week. That's a pretty significant cut in pay, and at the same time, my wife got laid off too. She had unemployment, of course, but that only replaced a small part of her salary. Over the next year and a half, it became obvious we were in trouble. Our retirement shrank to almost nothing with the stock market crash. Our house was over $150,000 underwater, and no matter how hard my wife tried, She couldn't find a new job. No one in banking was hiring. And all of this happened over a 12-month period. And at the same time, prices on virtually everything we bought were going up. Food prices were rising. Gas prices were on the way up. And if that weren't bad enough, that crooked power company kept asking the local utilities commission for rate hikes to cover the money they lost because of people cutting back on their usage. Let me say that again, okay? People would cut back on their electric usage because they couldn't afford the bill, and the power company would raise the rates to compensate. So basically, we would use less power and our bill wouldn't change that much. Now, when you're struggling to pay for a home and buy food, you've already cut off your cable and cell phone, and you turned a car in because you couldn't pay for it, and the electric company's answer to people using less of their product was to raise prices, well, let's just say I was getting kind of angry about it. Still, we had to deal with the situation in front of us, so we kept scraping together the money to pay. No more dinners out, and we waited until movies were released on DVD to watch them. It was also a little hard to explain to our children why we were shopping at discount stores and thrift stores, but we all adjusted.